Have you ever sat down to work only to find yourself scrolling through Instagram or checking your email for the 10th time in an hour? Or maybe you found yourself completely distracted, jumping from task to task, and at the end of the day, you wonder, what actually got done? Now imagine for just a moment if you could hit a reset button in your brain and start your day with a laser-focused mind, completely free from the constant tug of distractions. What if I told you that this isn't some mythical self-discipline thing, but something scientifically proven and incredibly simple to achieve? It's called a dopamine detox, and in the next few minutes I'm going to show you how it could completely transform your productivity, especially if you're an entrepreneur. What is a dopamine detox? Okay, now you're probably wondering, if dopamine is so important, why would I want to detox from it? Great question. A dopamine detox is actually not about eliminating dopamine entirely. That's impossible and unnecessary. Instead, it's about reducing the overstimulation your brain gets from constant dopamine hits and giving it a chance to reset. Think of it like pressing a pause button on the distractions so your brain can catch its breath and rebuild its ability to focus, work, and think long-term. You might think of it like cleaning out a cluttered room in your mind so you can finally focus on the things that really matter. Here's the idea. When you stop exposing yourself to these instant gratification triggers, like scrolling through social media, binge-watching TV shows, or eating junk food, your brain begins to recalibrate. Without the constant stream of quick dopamine hits, your brain starts to shift from seeking out short-term rewards to focusing on the longer-term ones. It can actually rediscover the ability to be patient, to dive deep into important tasks, and to feel satisfied from achieving things that take more effort and time. The detox itself can vary depending on your goals and how much of a reset you feel you need. But here are the general steps people follow. Limit or eliminate instant gratification. The first step is cutting out or drastically reducing activities that provide instant pleasure with little effort. These are things like social media. Yes, that means no Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter for a set period of time. Watching TV or mindless YouTube videos, binge eating junk food or drinking sugary beverages, video games or compulsive online shopping. Focus on more meaningful activities. During the detox, you replace those instant gratification behaviors with more meaningful activities. These might include reading books or articles that challenge your thinking, doing deep work without distractions, like working on a business project or a creative hobby, engaging in physical exercise, yoga, or meditation to clear your mind, practicing mindfulness, just being in the present moment without constant stimulation. Allow your brain to reset. This step is all about letting your brain adjust. Without the usual quick dopamine rewards, your brain will gradually learn to appreciate the long-term, sustained efforts that it might have neglected before. Your capacity to focus increases, and you begin to feel more present in your day-to-day activities. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and share your thoughts or experiences with Dopamine Detox in the comments below. I can't wait to hear how you're using this practice to transform your life. You need bigger hits to feel satisfied. This is why we scroll endlessly or keep refreshing our email inbox, hoping for that next hit of excitement. By taking a break from these triggers, the brain has the opportunity to reset itself. Studies have shown that when people engage in a dopamine detox, their brains actually start to rewire. They regain a heightened sensitivity to more subtle rewards, which allows them to experience greater satisfaction and motivation from things that require effort, like working towards a long-term goal. This process doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent effort, you'll start to notice some serious changes. Improved focus. Without constant distractions, your brain can focus on one task at a time. Increased motivation. Your drive to tackle harder, more complex projects is renewed. Better decision-making. You become less impulsive and more intentional about where you focus your energy. A dopamine detox isn't just about cutting things out. It's about creating space for the things that matter most. It's about rediscovering a deeper, more satisfying form of motivation that comes from within, rather than from external triggers. Some of the key benefits include mental clarity. With less mental clutter, you can think more clearly and make better decisions. Increased productivity. By removing distractions, your ability to get things done increases dramatically. Recalibrated reward system. You'll begin to enjoy longer-term projects more and feel motivated by the progress you're making rather than the instant hits of pleasure. Stronger focus and patience. A detox helps you build mental discipline, making it easier to focus on important tasks that may not give you immediate rewards. A dopamine detox isn't about punishing yourself or going without pleasure altogether. It's about re-establishing a healthy balance between instant rewards and long-term satisfaction. When you give your brain the space it needs to reset, you're giving yourself the power to focus better, work smarter, and ultimately unlock your full potential. Why it's especially important for entrepreneurs. As an entrepreneur, you're constantly juggling 1,000 things: ideas, tasks, meetings, emails, social media. It can feel like there's never enough time to get everything done. But here's the truth. The biggest challenge you face isn't time, it's focus. Without focus, all the hustle in the world won't lead to meaningful results. And this is where a dopamine detox can be a game changer. If you're an entrepreneur, a dopamine detox is not just a nice to have, it's a must do. Whether you're building a business, launching a new product, or trying to innovate in your field, there's always something demanding your time and energy. But the problem is, most of these things are designed to distract you rather than focus you. Think about it for a second. You wake up and check your phone, ding, a new notification. You check your email, and suddenly you're sucked into a thread of back-and-forth messages. You take a quick look at social media to catch up on industry news, and before you know it, an hour has passed. This cycle of constant distractions isn't just annoying. It's destructive for entrepreneurs. Every time you give in to a distraction, your brain gets a little dopamine hit, but your focus and productivity are shattered. You've probably experienced it. You start the day with good intentions to work on something important, but by the time you sit down, your mind is racing in 100 different directions. This scattered attention makes it nearly impossible to make significant progress on your bigger goals. Here's where the magic of a dopamine detox comes in. By removing or reducing the constant flow of dopamine-triggering activities, like checking your phone, mindlessly scrolling social media, or constantly refreshing your email, you give your brain the opportunity to refocus. This is essential for entrepreneurs who need to work on long-term projects, solve complex problems, or come up with innovative ideas. 1. It helps you build mental momentum. Think about mental momentum like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small and slow, but as it gathers speed and mass, it becomes more powerful and harder to stop. The same goes for your work as an entrepreneur. If you're constantly switching between tasks, you're breaking the flow and losing momentum. During a dopamine detox, you remove the quick distractions and allow yourself to work deeply. This means you can stay focused on one task for longer, and as a result, you build momentum. The more you work without interruption, the more your brain begins to crave that feeling of deep focus. In time, this leads to improved productivity and the ability to work more efficiently, without constantly chasing new dopamine hits. 2. It reduces decision fatigue. As an entrepreneur, you make dozens, if not hundreds, of decisions every single day. From the big ones like business strategy to the small ones like what to eat or what emails to respond to. This constant decision-making takes its toll. And if you're constantly being distracted by dopamine hits, you end up in a mental fog, which leads to poor decision-making. A dopamine detox helps clear this mental fog. By removing distractions, You allow your brain to focus on what truly matters. You stop wasting energy on inconsequential decisions, like mindlessly scrolling through social media, and can dedicate more cognitive resources to the important decisions that will drive your business forward. 3. It strengthens long-term focus. One of the biggest challenges for entrepreneurs is staying focused on long-term projects, the kind of work that doesn't provide instant gratification. Whether it's building a business plan, writing a book, or developing a new product, these tasks require sustained focus over time. Unfortunately, when your brain is conditioned to seek constant dopamine rewards from social media, notifications, or junk food, it becomes harder to focus on tasks that require patience and persistence. But with a dopamine detox, your brain starts to retrain itself. It shifts from seeking instant rewards to valuing the deeper, more fulfilling rewards that come from long-term achievements. Let's be real. Entrepreneurship is tough. The competition is fierce, and to succeed, you need every advantage you can get. A dopamine detox is one of the easiest, most powerful ways to gain that edge. By improving your focus, reducing distractions, and boosting your productivity, you'll be able to accomplish more with less effort, more creativity. Without the constant bombardment of distractions, your brain has space to come up with new, creative ideas. You'll have more mental energy to solve problems and think outside the box. Increased discipline. Entrepreneurs need self-discipline to succeed, and a dopamine detox is one of the best ways to train yourself to stay on task and work consistently. Less burnout. Constantly chasing dopamine hits can be mentally exhausting. By doing a detox, you allow yourself the mental clarity and balance needed to work without burning out. In the world of entrepreneurship, it's not just about working harder, it's about working smarter. And one of the smartest things you can do is take control of your brain's reward system. A dopamine detox will help you break free from distractions, build momentum, and get more done with less mental fatigue. In other words, it'll help you become the kind of focused, productive entrepreneur who thrives no matter how crazy the business world gets. Building mental momentum through dopamine detox. Let's talk about mental momentum for a minute. Imagine your brain is like a muscle. If you're constantly jumping from task to task, flitting from one distraction to another, it's like lifting weights with no set routine. You're not really building strength. You're just exhausting yourself. On the other hand, when you give your brain the space to focus and get into a rhythm, that's when real mental momentum starts to form. A dopamine detox is like clearing the clutter in your brain, allowing it to build a steady flow of focused energy. And trust me, this is the key to getting more done in less time. It's when you're working on a task and time seems to fly by because you're 100% focused and engaged. When you're in this state, productivity skyrockets. You start to accomplish more than you thought possible, and you feel energized rather than drained. But here's the thing, mental momentum doesn't come easy in today's world. The constant barrage of notifications, emails, and social media updates works against you, pulling you out of focus every few minutes. When you're constantly jumping from one task to another, it's like trying to sprint without ever getting a proper warm-up. You're not giving your brain the time and space to build that smooth, consistent momentum. This is where a dopamine detox becomes a game changer. By reducing or eliminating the dopamine-draining distractions, like checking your phone, scrolling through social media, or mindlessly watching TV, you give your brain the ability to build focus, step by step. Over time, your ability to stay focused on longer tasks without feeling the need for constant rewards improves, and you begin to tap into the true power of mental momentum. When you're building a business or working on entrepreneurial projects, mental momentum is everything. Here's why. Sustained focus. thus higher output. When you're in a state of momentum, you can work for longer periods of time without getting distracted. Instead of spending hours on trivial tasks, like checking your phone every 5 minutes, you can focus on the work that moves your business forward. Energy efficiency. Mental momentum helps you work smarter, not harder. When you're in the flow, you're not wasting mental energy deciding what to do next or switching between tasks. Your brain is able to work more efficiently, which means you get more done with less effort. Faster. Problem solving. Entrepreneurs face unique challenges daily, whether it's a new business strategy, solving a tough problem, or figuring out how to scale. When you have momentum, you can break through these challenges faster. You're able to concentrate, think critically, and come up with creative solutions without distractions pulling you away. Less mental fatigue. Constant distractions drain your mental energy. But when you build momentum, you can serve your brain's energy for the important stuff. You feel less mentally exhausted at the end of the day because you spent your energy on meaningful work, not on switching between distractions. How to build mental momentum with a dopamine detox. Practical tips for entrepreneurs. Now that we understand what mental momentum is and why it's crucial, let's talk about how to actually build it, especially if you're an entrepreneur who's constantly juggling a million things. 1. Reduce social media consumption. We all know how easy it is to get sucked into social media. A quick scroll through Instagram turns into 30 minutes of mindless browsing, and before you know it, you've lost valuable work time. A dopamine detox involves setting clear boundaries for your social media use. Tip: consider using tools like app blockers or setting time limits for social media. Schedule specific times during the day to check social media instead of allowing it to interrupt your workflow. You'd be surprised how much focus you'll get back when you stop the habit of checking your phone every few minutes. 2. Schedule time for focused work. A common pitfall for entrepreneurs is that we always feel like we need to be doing something. But multitasking is a myth. When you try to do multiple things at once, you lose mental momentum and end up accomplishing less. Tip: use time blocking to schedule uninterrupted work periods. During these blocks, focus solely on the task at hand, whether it's brainstorming, coding, writing, or building your next product. Set a timer for 45 to 60 minutes, and during that time, no distractions, no emails, no social media, nothing. This will help your brain build momentum as you get into deep work. 3. Take regular breaks to recharge. Focus isn't about working for hours on end without stopping. That's a surefire way to burn out. Mental momentum also depends on the ability to recharge, so your brain stays fresh and can maintain long-term focus. Tip: use the Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. After 4 Pomodoros, take a longer break. During your breaks, do something that doesn't require focus, like stretching, walking, or even meditating. This helps you reset and come back to your work with fresh energy. 4. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness helps train your brain to stay in the present moment, which is critical for focus and momentum. A simple meditation practice or a few minutes of mindful breathing can help clear mental clutter and reduce the pull of distractions. Tip: try a 10-minute daily meditation session before you start your workday. Or whenever you feel your mind wandering, take a few deep breaths and bring your attention back to the task at hand. This can instantly increase your mental clarity and reduce the urge to reach for your phone or check email. Building mental momentum through a dopamine detox isn't something that happens overnight. It takes practice and patience. But over time, you'll notice huge changes in how you work and how you feel about your business. By cutting back on distractions and giving your brain the space to focus, you'll not only become more productive, you'll feel more energized and motivated to tackle the bigger challenges that come with being an entrepreneur. You may be wondering, can simply reducing distractions really have a lasting effect on my brain? Well, the science says yes. Studies show that when you cut down on external stimulation, like social media, constant notifications, or junk food, your brain can rewire itself. It creates new neural pathways that are more efficient at focusing on long-term goals, rather than seeking out instant gratification. This isn't just a theory, it's backed by solid research. Your brain operates on a principle called neuroplasticity, the ability to reorganize and form new neural connections throughout life. Neuroplasticity is the brain's way of rewiring itself based on your habits, behaviors, and experiences. In other words, your brain has an incredible ability to change and adapt depending on how you use it. When you're constantly exposed to external sources of dopamine, social media likes, text message notifications, binge-watching Netflix, or even eating sugary foods, your brain becomes conditioned to seek out these instant rewards. Over time, the brain forms neural pathways that prioritize these short-term pleasures. The result: your ability to focus on long-term goals diminishes because your brain craves more instant gratification. But here's the good news. When you reduce or eliminate these stimuli through a dopamine detox, your brain has a chance to reset. It can start rewiring itself to prioritize long-term rewards, like achieving your business goals, solving complex problems, or improving your skills. By reducing external stimulation, you allow your brain to become more efficient at focusing on things that require sustained attention and effort. Research has shown that reducing external stimulation and giving your brain a break from constant dopamine hits can lead to significant improvements in focus, mental clarity, and decision-making. Let's look at a few studies that support this. Neuroplasticity and attention. A study conducted by the University of California, San Francisco, explored how attention changes in response to reduced stimulation. The results showed that individuals who practiced focusing on one task for extended periods, a method similar to a dopamine detox, exhibited increased activity in the brain's prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for higher-order thinking, decision-making, and long-term planning. This suggests that by reducing distractions, we can strengthen the brain's ability to stay focused on important tasks. The impact of dopamine on decision-making. In a study published in Psychological Science, researchers discovered that individuals who experienced a reduction in instant gratification behaviors, such as checking emails or receiving notifications, showed improved decision-making skills. These participants were more likely to make thoughtful, long-term decisions as opposed to seeking out immediate rewards. The reduction in dopamine stimulation allowed their brains to shift focus from impulsive behaviors to strategic thinking and long-term planning. The role of dopamine in motivation. In 2013, researchers at the Max Planck Institute for Human Cognitive and Brain Sciences found that dopamine plays a critical role in both motivation and reward processing. When the brain experiences too many immediate rewards, it becomes desensitized, making it harder to stay motivated for tasks that don't offer instant results. However, reducing dopamine overload can increase sensitivity to longer-term goals, making it easier to stay driven and focused on tasks that require persistence. Restoring cognitive control. Another study, published in Neuron, demonstrated that when people reduce external dopamine-inducing stimuli, like playing video games or excessive social media, they improve cognitive control. This means they can resist distractions more effectively and stay focused on important, goal-directed activities. The study found that after just a few days of limiting dopamine-driven behaviors, participants showed noticeable improvements in their ability to make decisions, control impulses, and think critically. How this leads to increased mental clarity, focus, and better decision-making. When you reduce external dopamine stimulation, the effects on your brain are profound. Here's how it impacts your cognitive abilities. Mental clarity. Dopamine overload can create a foggy mind, constantly jumping between tasks, constantly seeking the next hit of stimulation. But when you detox from dopamine, your brain gets a chance to clear the clutter. With fewer distractions, your mind becomes more organized, and your ability to think clearly improves. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you'll start seeing solutions to problems more easily and be able to process information with more clarity. Improved focus. Focus is one of the biggest casualties of constant dopamine stimulation. Each time you switch between tasks or check your phone, your brain loses precious focus. But during a dopamine detox, as you reduce the amount of instant gratification you're receiving, your brain begins to rebuild its attention span. It becomes easier to stay focused on important tasks for longer periods of time without getting distracted by minor urges or interruptions. Better decision-making. Constant dopamine hits can lead to impulsive decisions, like buying things you don't need or responding to distractions instead of completing important work. However, when you reduce these external triggers, your brain becomes more thoughtful in its decision-making. You start making choices that align with your long-term goals instead of reacting impulsively to immediate rewards. This shift in decision-making is essential for entrepreneurs who need to make strategic, long-term decisions that will benefit their businesses. By giving your brain a break from constant dopamine overload, you can rewire it to prioritize focus, long-term thinking, and better decision-making. Studies show that the brain is incredibly adaptable, and a dopamine detox can help it develop new neural pathways that support your goals, improve your productivity, and allow you to make smarter decisions. So when you take the time to detox, you're not just clearing distractions, you're giving your brain the space it needs to evolve and become sharper, more focused, and more successful in everything you do. But here's the real question. Are you ready to make a change? If you're tired of feeling scattered, overwhelmed, and constantly pulled in a million different directions, I challenge you to try a dopamine detox for just the next 48 hours. Yes, you heard that right. 2 full days. Just start small and let the results speak for themselves. Actionable steps to start your dopamine detox today. The key to making a dopamine detox work for you is to start simple and build up gradually. Here's what I suggest you do right now. Cut out social media for 48 hours. Start by disconnecting from social media for the next 48 hours. Delete apps from your phone or temporarily deactivate your accounts. This one step will remove a massive source of external dopamine stimulation and help you gain better control over your attention. Limit screen time. Focus on the essentials. If you can't go completely screen-free, especially if you're running a business or need to stay in touch with clients, limit your screen time to work-related tasks only. This means no mindless scrolling, no checking random websites, and definitely no YouTube videos or TikTok. Aim to focus only on tasks that contribute to your business or personal growth. Focus on one task at a time. Try the simple but powerful technique of single tasking. Pick one task that's important and focus solely on it for a set amount of time, whether it's 30 minutes, an hour, or longer. No switching between tasks, no checking your phone, just pure, focused work. Take regular breaks without screens. Give your brain a chance to recharge by taking regular breaks, but make sure these breaks don't involve checking your phone or any screens. Try going for a walk, doing some light stretching, or simply sitting in silence for 5 to 10 minutes. These breaks will help reset your brain and keep you fresh. Reflect and adjust. After your 48-hour detox, take some time to reflect on how you felt. Did you feel more focused? Did you notice a difference in your productivity? Write down your thoughts and consider how you can integrate some of these practices into your routine in the long term. You can gradually increase the duration of your detoxes as you build momentum. Now that you've had a taste of what a dopamine detox can do for you, consider gradually increasing the duration. For example, after your first 48-hour detox, try going for a 5-day detox. Then, why not try a full week? With each extended detox, you'll begin to experience even greater clarity, mental energy, and productivity. The key is to start small but stay consistent. I want you to remember this. The power of a dopamine detox doesn't lie in denying yourself pleasure. It lies in regaining control over your brain's reward system. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to let your brain be hijacked by quick hits of dopamine. But when you take control, you allow yourself the space to focus on what truly matters: long-term goals, growth, and the things that bring you real fulfillment. By incorporating a dopamine detox into your routine, you'll build mental momentum, improve your productivity, and ultimately take your entrepreneurial game to the next level. It's not just about cutting out distractions. It's about creating a foundation of focus, clarity, and sustainable motivation that will fuel your success. If this video helped you see the importance of a dopamine detox, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments how you're planning to implement this in your life. I respond to every comment, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on the detox experience. And remember, small changes can lead to big transformations. You've got this.